I think I heard basically like, if you can lose 5 games in a row, you can win 5 games in a row.
Ever gone blind at the table under pressure? Or faced an opponent who plays a challenging, slow, safe game? Pool player Jared Pitts knows the feeling. On Lucky Breaks podcast today, he recounts a tough Vegas tournament and shares insights on dealing with the mental side of the game. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lucky Breaks podcast. I'm here with Jared Pitts, and we're going to talk about his career in pool a little bit and also about a recent tournament that he played in. Welcome, Jared.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about how you got into the game of pool, your journey so far?
I think I liked it since I was a kid. My mom worked at a pool hall, and I, hit balls around. I had no like formal training or anything, but then whenever I went to college, I had a little bit of background, and I knew how to hold the stick, I knew how to make the balls and everything. I knew the rules, and so instantly I was just beating everyone, and because these kids had never played pool before, and I really liked that. Like I liked winning, I liked feeling good at something. So then I joined the APA, and I was in the pool hall like every day since then, and it's been like 12 years probably. So
Do you literally play every day?
not every day. I haven't played yet today. So.
Okay. Are you playing later?
Yeah, I'll play today.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about this tournament that you wanted to tell us about.
Right. So I just got back from Vegas last weekend. I entered a $1,000 entry, 650 and under, and then there's a Calcutta and there's side pots and everything. So all said and done, it would probably cost over $2,000 to play.
For you specifically?
Right. I had people that I went in
Kinda
with the
staked.
Calcutta and the side pots and everything. So it was a big investment. I didn't do so well. It was hard mentally for me because my first match was really tough. It was a 3-hour race to 9. And so just the guy's style of play was kind of difficult. Lots of safeties, lots of moving, and it was very mentally draining. And then I won Hill, but then I sat for, I think, 4 or 5 hours until my next match. And all the tables were being used for tournament. And then when it came time to play, I actually played a guy from LA, similarly ranked to me, someone that's very beatable. And I just went blind. I couldn't see the table. I couldn't see the balls. It was really frustrating because when you're in that position, not really sure how to get out of that, that funk that you're in. So.
Yeah. So what time did the tournament start in the morning, that 3-hour match?
I think that was at 11 or 12.
Oh, so not even that early in the day.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I got good sleep and everything, and I got there a day and a half early. And so, I did everything to prepare for it. And I actually felt good. I won the lag, or the thing, flip or lag, whatever. But and then I broke and ran my first rack on the TV table.
Nice.
And I just felt super confident and felt like I was one of the favorites to win in the event. I was playing every day for 2 weeks before that, playing great.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, just it didn't go the way I planned. That first match, I think, really kind of took a toll on me. And then after that, I just kind of got cold and maybe got in my head a little bit. Wasn't so confident.
So when you noticed the guy was starting to kind of play slow or play a lot of defenses, what was your kind of strategy to kind of combat that?
I didn't want to let him outmove me, so you never want to make the first foul. So that means be really careful when you're breaking. Don't scratch on the break. Don't take any unnecessary risks that you could, because that's what happens when you get 3 fouled often.
Yeah.
It's your fault because you gave them the first foul. You made an unforced error, and then they get ball in hand, and then they can take that ball in hand and lock you up, and then lock you up again. Then, so they really only have to play 2 safeties to get you, right?
Right.
Or maybe you make that foul and the 10 hangs and they make a 1-10 combo or something.
Yeah.
And he got a couple. He 3 fouled me, and I think he had 2 early 10s. So, but you just want to not give them any easy wins.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get frustrated. A lot of people, when they're playing that type of player, they just start kind of kicking wildly at stuff, and then when they finally do get a shot, they rush it and they, bang it into the rail or whatever. So you just want to take it as it is and just know, okay, brace yourself mentally that you're going to be playing safe a lot. And when they do fail and at safing you, or when they do give you an opportunity, that you have to maximize and you have to get the most out of that.
Yeah,
So,
you have to be ready to run out or play at least a good of safety as
right,
they
right.
play against you.
Exactly.
So when I played in the 10-ball league for a while, at the league here, the 3-foul rule made me crazy because I was almost always outmatched by them. Do you experience that a lot when you're here? Like, do you have to play against those kind of players here in San Diego?
Race to three, you do get a lot of guys that try to play safe and get that three foul. Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to three foul someone. Because even if you get them fully hooked behind the ball, there's so many one railers or two railers or
Or the
whatever.
jump
Yeah,
two?
right. So you really have to get them. You have to be pretty savvy with safeties where you get them not only on the ball, but you get them on the ball in such a way that they can't hit a one railer, they can't hit an easy kick. They have to go, the best place is like in between the ball and the rail. If you can get the cue ball there, they're going to have to kick out three
Yeah.
rails or more or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but, or wedged in between two balls or, something like that. Anything that you can do just to limit your opponent's kicking ability because everyone can kick now. So,
Well, were they doing that to you? Like, I guess I'm wondering if you have to experience that a lot in your regular week by week play, or is that you're just not playing against people that do that?
I think in the RBC league, there's not really anyone that plays that many great safeties. Like they play
Uh-huh.
safe, but you're expecting them to probably hit it, but you're just hoping that maybe you get a better look at the ball than you had. So you're playing safe to get a better opportunity. But yeah, so most of the safes are just pretty normal, just like rail to rail and with a ball in between or whatever, just an
Yeah.
easy kick. And
Yeah.
then I think because the entry was so high
Yeah.
and the pressure was so high,
Yeah.
that's why the guy probably played so timidly. But in a race to three, those guys aren't going to play, 4 or 5 safeties in a row or
Right.
whatever.
Right. How did that guy do later in the tournament?
I think he actually got in the money. He beat my road buddy that I rode with, Matt Hardwick. I drove up there with him and he got him. He was really frustrated by
Using
that.
the same style?
Yeah, I'm sure. And then I think I didn't watch it, but Matt said he had, I think, 3 or 4 early tens, stuff like that. So
What does that say about etiquette? Like, do you feel like that? I mean, it is part of the
well,
game, but
right. I mean, that's why shot clock and everything came
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
And that guy that I played, he was a 650 Fargo about. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that your Fargo isn't, it's just wins and losses, right? Sometimes you lose to someone because of more of a mental factor, like maybe
Yeah.
it's someone that you don't like, or maybe it's someone that you feel like you should beat, or maybe it's like an 80-year-old woman, or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Or you're feeling sorry for
yeah,
people.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you might that it could be due to their style of play. So I think a lot of times those players get really high rankings because it's mentally a struggle for other players to play them. Same thing if you had to play Joshua Filler and he just runs out like quick as lightning on you. That like those two styles of play are both intimidating. So
Do you have anything in your own style that you think of that way? I'm curious.
sometimes I'll get in the zone and I feel like I play pretty fast and people say that I can be intimidating, but it's that has pros and cons also because yeah, it's nice when you're in the zone, but then when you might make a dumb mistake or you might whatever, and then next thing you know you're out of it, and now what do you do? So
Yeah.
rhythm is so important. When you play really slow, that's hard too. So, and a lot of times when you're playing a slow player, maybe you should play a little slower. But the general advice I think is practice whatever that you're normally comfortable with.
Right. Bring that to the table and the rest will.
Right.
So you won that match.
Yeah. Hill.
And
I
I'm surprised you didn't come out feeling like, oh, I just beat this in this
It was
terrible
rough at the end because we were both out of stroke, and the Hill match we both missed a 10 ball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just got lucky that he missed an easier one than I did. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I easily could have lost.
What were you thinking as you got ready for the next one? How long did you have to wait? You said you had to wait like
I
hours?
went to the tournament because I was on the TV table. So I went to the
Yeah.
tournament director and I was like, is there any way that I could get a break? Because it was the only match left from round one. There was like some round three matches, I think,
Oh my
starting.
gosh.
So I was like, is there any way I can get a break? And she's like, you're good. You don't even play again until like 5 p.m. So yeah, so I was already hanging out. It was like 1:30 at that time or something. So I was waiting.
So you got to go get a bite to eat and
Right. Yeah, I
But-
hung out a little bit,
Yeah.
made a few phone calls, decompressed, went outside. When it was about maybe 30 minutes before my match, I came in and was like trying to hit balls, but there was nowhere to play.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that my opponent was playing on one of the like money tables, and he was renting the table out. I was like, maybe that did something to me too, because I was like, oh, well, my
he's gonna be
opponent's,
warm.
yeah, my opponent's hitting balls and I'm not.
Yeah.
It was 5-5, and then he going to 9, and then he caught a gear, and I think it was 9-6. So
And then the losers bracket round was just
I
an hour or
played
two later.
a pretty good 6:20. It was like maybe 2 hours later, and then he was hitting the ball confidently. I got several pretty unfortunate rolls. The titty hook in the side happened to me one time, which I feel like it never happens to me. So
Yeah.
where I almost scratched, and the cue ball just freezes up to the ball, and I couldn't even hit the ball. That sucked.
yeah.
Just silly stuff. But
Yeah.
it was race to 7. I think it was like 7-3 or 7-4.
Okay.
But yeah, he played good. And I got a couple bad rolls, but I felt a little better. I kind of started out the same way that I had the other set, kind of nervous, kind of blind. But I got a few opportunities, and I felt my confidence coming back, and just couldn't overcome the rolls.
Yeah.
There were a couple like that, but
I'm curious what you think you might do differently next time. Like, is there something you might try if you're in this similar situation?
I want to work on maybe playing cold a little bit. It's really important to have confidence in your pre-shot routine and your stance and getting down on the ball and just feeling comfortable. The more work you do with that process, and just trusting your own personal pre-shot routine and your thought process and your stroke and everything else, then you can play in those uncomfortable situations, and then you can perform, so you have to, when you start to doubt yourself, that's when, you snowball a little bit. So.
I think about this sometimes because, I play better under pressure, and when I watch other folks who are sort of playing in a pressure match, and it seems like they're falling apart, I keep wanting to tell them, like, hey, like, you just need to dig deep and figure out what you need to fix. And everybody's different. And you need to figure that out for yourself in the moment, because so many people they get in a funk and then they just spiral, and then they're already done. As soon as they have sort of a couple bad rolls in a row, they're done. But I've seen so many great comebacks, but there's not like a universal rule that you can give someone.
Right.
Is there something that you found that you can jog you out of, like, say you're like down, 5-0.
Right.
Is there something that kind of knocks you back into, like, hey, I got to fight?
I'm actually really pretty good at playing from behind. I don't know why, something about it just motivates me to try to win. I feel like I'm worst playing ahead if I have a big lead. And then I play pretty good like when it's like neck and neck, when both players are playing well. But from behind, I feel like I can play pretty well. I think I heard some advice a long time ago, basically like, if you can lose 5 games in a row, you can win 5 games in a row. And so you just got to take it one game at a time. And me personally, mentally, what I like to do is find a reason to win every rack. So like, let's just say, to make it simple, let's make it a race to 3, right? It's 0-0. It's the first rack. Like, you want to get on the board. So you want to win that first rack, because make it 1-0.
Yeah.
And then the next one is an important rack, because if you lose, well, now it's going to be tied 1-1 in this race too. So if you can win that second rack, then now you're up 2-0. You're on the hill. Like, that's your hill match. And then now your next rack, you're on the hill. Like, you just got to win.
Yeah.
So, and then either, like, you got to look at it from, anytime the score's tied, it's really important. You look at it from like a pressure scenario or like a momentum, right? So if it's 5-5 going to 7 or going to 8 or whatever, that's an important rack, because you're taking the lead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if you lose, then they're taking the lead, and now they might start playing hot. You might start playing cold. So that's just me personally. I've told other people that, and they're like, "Oh, whatever." But that helps motivate me and keeps my head in the game every single rack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
I'm reminded of my match on Sunday because we were playing in playoffs, and I was doing really well in the beginning, and then I'm playing a 3. I'm a 5, and so they start getting some lucky shots, or I make a mistake, and my teammates are saying things like, "Don't worry, Sue, it's fine," and I'm like, "No, it's not fine. Like, it's not fine that I'm missing these things," and then I start to get sucked into this like arguing with them about how not fine it is. And anyway, there's just these ways that we mess ourselves up
right.
all the time.
That's the other side. There's two sides of the game, right? The one side is when you're at the table, and then the other side's when you're in your chair. And so you really want to practice that positive self-talk and maybe no distractions. And I have a bad habit. I check my phone a lot during my matches, so maybe I shouldn't do that. And then the sidebars with other people, and you should be focused and ready to do whatever it takes the next time you're at the table. So even if you come to the table and you're kicking, like you should get out of your chair and do your pre-shot routine, measure the kick, and try to make it, or try to get safe or whatever, and do whatever you can, maximize every opportunity. But you can only do that if you prepare yourself for that when you're watching your opponent. So you have to be kind to yourself and just think, I got to overcome the rolls, or
Yeah.
I just got to wait for my next opportunity, and sometimes you don't get it. Yeah, but
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes if I feel too confident, then I don't take it seriously. So anyway, there's like this fine line.
right.
So when's your next big tournament?
So I'd go to the Mez tour once a month. I wouldn't say that's really big, but it's the monthly tour. I'm right now. I think I'm like top 32 or whatever. I've missed several because of Vegas and this and that. But they have it first weekend of the month every month, and then at the end of the year they have an invitational if you're in the top 32.
Yeah, and right now you still are.
Yeah, I still am. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've been to 2 or 3 events.
Okay.
Since it's May, it'll be the 5th event.
So when you approach that event, I'm curious, are you going in thinking, okay, let me prepare the same way. I'm going to, play every day and focus on that event, whichever it is. Or would you, because I know you said maybe I should practice more playing cold, and like put yourself into that situation and see if you can like work on that
Right.
part of your mental game. Would you actually use that as an opportunity to try that, like experiment?
It's a different mental hurdle playing there, just because it's a 2-hour commute, and you're riding up there with someone usually, and different things happen sometimes. Like one time I went 2 and out, and I went with Luis Abarca, and he actually made it really far. And so I was stuck there all day waiting for my road buddy to get knocked out. Not that I wanted him to get knocked out, but
Right.
I want to go home. And so,
Yeah.
and especially after you lose, all you want to do is go home. So,
Do you find it hard to watch your friends play after you?
oh no, I mean, I root on them and
Okay,
everything,
yeah.
but you don't really want to be there. But
Yeah.
so often you ride up with someone and you play them round 1, and
Oh.
you're going to an unfamiliar environment. And the common debate is like, why aren't there very many good American pool players, and why there's so many good European pool players? And someone came out and said basically along the lines of, there's not enough players willing to fly across the country and pay $1,000 and go 2 and out,
Yeah.
and then be ready to do it again next month.
Right.
So
Right.
it's really hard to fail and fail and fail and fail, and then keep doing it. So and that's really the only way.
And in Europe, everything's so much closer.
Right.
You can just go fly an hour and be there. Yeah. True.
So it is tough to like commute 2 hours and play in an unfamiliar environment, play strangers, and it's handicapped, so you're giving weight to people based on Fargo and everything, and you're playing on tables that you're unfamiliar with, and they have home field advantage, and all this stuff. I've done well. The biggest hurdle I face when I go there is they do a modified double elimination, so it goes to single once they get to the final 16.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I lose a lot in the single elimination stage. I did it in Vegas as well. I lost immediately a 9-ball in single elimination, and then an 8-ball it got down to final 32 and I got to the final 16 and then lost again. And you would think, like, a lot of times I'm positive about it. I think, okay, well, it's single elimination, so it's less rounds to first. Like, I just have to win half as many to win the whole thing. But it just stinks when you get knocked out of a tournament, a double elimination tournament, but you've only lost once.
So I remember in the BCA team event, they had that that round robin at the beginning where you played 5 times, and then the best players from that round robin
Okay, I see what you're
phase.
saying. They call it group stages.
Yeah, group stages. Yeah. Should they do more tournaments like that?
For team events, I think that's really cool. Another tournament I know that does that is the World Straight Pool Championship. They get, I don't know, like 32 players or whatever, and they break it up into groups A, B, C, D, E, or like groups of 6.
Yeah.
And then all 6 of those players, you'll have 5 matches. You'll play everybody.
Yeah.
And then whoever has the best record, like maybe the top 2 records or whatever, advance to an actual single
then you get so
tournament.
Much table time when you do that. Yeah. And then the other question I was going to ask, so you talked about like having to go to probably LA area for that tournament. I noticed, and you mentioned before we started recording about the tournament at a new pool hall. Like if we start to have more of these sort of higher tier tournaments in San Diego, we should have better opportunities, right? To get
right. I haven't been to all the pool halls in LA, but same thing here in San Diego. There's just all the pool halls have pros and cons, and there's not like top tier equipment anywhere, and if there is, then there's not a lot of tables, or and then it's just so expensive to keep a business operating.
Yeah,
so they can't really afford to give somebody a whole weekend to have all the tables and run a tournament.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't drinking and stuff because they're like trying to play seriously.
So it's just hard for San Diego to have like a really nice like pool tour. It would be cool to see something like that, and Thor is talking about doing a monthly. We'll see how that goes. But
yeah.
Like the same, they only have 10 pool tables, and they're a Vietnamese brand. So a lot of people are going to be unfamiliar with those.
Does it matter that much, the table?
I think the pockets are a little more forgiving. Initially, they had some issues with their drop pocket, so they set into the table, and they were kind of broken, and so sometimes the balls would hit the pocket and fly out. And stuff. So he fixed that. Okay. And but I think the felt they use might be similar to the 3 cushion felt that they use. So I'm just guessing. It's a little strange.
It plays weird in your mind too.
Yeah, it plays weird.
Okay. All right. What do you think you're going to change next time? Like I think it doesn't sound like you're going to change that much other than just keep doing what you're doing.
Right. I think you have to make yourself uncomfortable, and so whatever that is, whether it's in practice or whether it's gambling, or a lot of people play the ghost, or they give
What's the ghost?
The ghost. That's where. Is this real? Is it real close?
I don't know.
Okay, so
they play the ghost.
Yeah. So the ghost is the best pool player in the world. He never misses. And it's 9-ball.
Yeah.
But he spots you all the breaks, and you get ball in hand after the break, and that's it. So you get to break 9-ball, and you pick up the cue ball and put it wherever you want. But if you don't run out, then you lose. And you would play him to 5 or 9 or whatever you wanted.
Okay.
And so basically you have to run out every single rack out with ball in hand no matter what. And if you don't run out, you lose. Even if you get lucky and hook him or whatever, he's the best player in the world, right?
Okay, so, yeah.
But yeah, so basically it's just,
I've never heard that expression.
Yeah, it's common, very common.
Not in my circles, but okay.
But yeah, so playing the ghost is like a good way to practice, because you're focused on, you really want to run out, and if you don't run out, then you have to wipe all the tables and start over, or wipe all the balls, so it puts pressure on you, especially if you're playing to 5 or 9. And maybe they're up 4-0 on you. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
But when you're just hitting balls around, it doesn't really matter if you miss or don't miss or whatever.
Okay.
You get comfortable.
Well, I'm going to try that drill.
But yeah, just drills, I think. Because drills are frustrating too. Because yesterday I just did the spot shot drill where all I had to do was make 15 of them in a row. And it took me about an hour because I kept getting to 10 and then missing. And then after a while, at the 45-minute mark, I would only make 2 in a row and then miss. And
Because you were getting tired?
yeah, I was getting frustrated. I was like, why can't I do this? What's going on? I was making 10 in a row earlier. Now I can't even make 2. And so just something like that, any type of drill that makes you feel that same feeling that you feel when you compete, that's what you got to do. So play better players. That's frustrating.
Yeah, and be okay losing. Because it's teaching you how to lose, teaching you what's broken in your own game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try the little gimmick that we have, which is the Magic 8 Ball, because we have it this time. Is there a question that you want to ask the Magic 8 Ball?
You go first.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Let's see. Well, my ladies' league is on Friday night, so let me just ask if I'm going to win.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I'm going to shake it. Okay. Don't count on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, great. Okay, so I'm not going to win on Friday.
Let's see. Should Sue come to the Thor pool tournament tonight in 1 hour? I can't. This is my problem. I can never read them. What does it say? Concentrate and ask again. No, I guess that's a no.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jared, for being a guest on our podcast.
I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Hope it was fun, and good luck in your next tournament.
Thanks.
All right. Cheers.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Lucky Breaks podcast. You can find more episodes at youtube.com/@luckybreaks-podcast or by searching for Lucky Breaks on your favorite podcast player. This episode was produced by Sue Leader and Aaron Schulman. Thank you for your support. Sign up to be a guest on a future episode from our YouTube channel page.